So this is a 6.6 gas engine, and it's been okay. I think it's getting a little bit better mileage now. It's got about 2,500 miles on it now, somewhere around there. I think it's getting a little bit better now that it's kind of breaking in a little bit. I think this last week, I think I got about 12, 13-ish, somewhere around that. And that was just in town. And then towing, it's getting about 10. So I think that that's fine. My half ton got about 11 and a half when towing. But this truck towing that trailer is just a world of difference. So a couple things to note: the suck and push from the semis. If it is breezy or windy, you're still going to get that. It is, I want to say it's less drastic, but it depends on how the wind is. It still will push and pull, but the truck is a lot more stable. I'll put it that way. But normal driving conditions, if it's not windy or just, maybe just like a little bit windy, I can do like 67, and everything feels good. It feels great. The one thing I will note, and I think some people don't talk about a lot, is that, hey buddy, is that, all these different trailers have different towing characteristics to them. Just because you're towing with a 3/4 ton versus a half ton or a 1 ton or whatever, the trailer is still going to do what it's going to do. So it's always going to do that. So if it was normally kind of like if the wind made it move around, the wind is still going to make it move around. It's just that in this truck, I can see it moving around, but I don't necessarily feel it. Or if I do, it's just a little bit compared to the half ton. Bought this because it is monsoon season. We just had a thunderstorm roll over. Luckily, we didn't get much rain out of that. And what happens is you're driving along, you're watching the Doppler, everything looks cool, and then all of a sudden, bam, a thunderstorm pops up. Stay close. And then when that happens, then you have to deal with the wind. And so a lot of the times what I'll do is if it gets too windy, I'll just find a nice spot and I'll pull off. We'll ride it out, we'll kick back, or, get some food or do something instead of driving in the wind. But I think if I had the half ton, all right, stay over here. If I had the half ton, those things would have been pretty sketchy, to say the least. So that is the kind of the main difference. So I wanted to kind of break that down to you and let you know. But as far as the truck goes, it drives good. And even on the dirt roads, I don't really necessarily think that it's much more bumpy than the half ton. I think they did a pretty good job with the suspension. Like I said, maybe the 1 ton's a ride stiffer, but I roll with 80 in the back and 60 in the front, and I can go down these dirt roads and it's all good. 3 rear end, 373 or 410. I think it's 373 rear end. It is a G80. It's 4x4. It does have 4 low, 4 high. Last night when I came in, it was muddy, and put it in 4 high. Manual, turned off traction, and mud bogged it through to this area. And it wasn't I pre-walked it, so it wasn't too bad. It was just like, maybe an inch deep in some spots, but, kind of slick. So, all right, so let's talk about the power of the truck. So like I said, 6.6 gas and a 6-speed. It has got plenty of power. I mean, you can't compare it to a diesel. And the reason why I went with the gas is because, diesels are stinky. And then you're paying 10 G's more. Plus, it costs more to service them, really. So this engine and this trans, it's interesting. So I can set the cruise control at whatever I want. It typically will keep it there. Sometimes, so it's weird, right? So I'll explain this to you. So it has really interesting power management. So it doesn't let it wind out sometimes like like the 5.3 or probably the 6.2, I would imagine. It more or less utilizes the torque, so it, you know, holds its shifts. You know, it'll let you, you know, let that torque really get you there instead of winding out to crank out some horsepower. And that's something that I noticed. I did notice not so much towing before. It was kind of my first time and I was kind of feeling it out, but unless it drops too much, it won't really downshift. So it just keeps you, I guess, within the torque band of it. So it'll let you drop down speed. Now, that being said, you keep the cruise control on, you drop it into manual, it'll downshift and it'll pull the hills. There's some pretty, like, you know, 6-7% grades. I've never had a situation to where the truck couldn't get the trailer up to speed. So this is probably sitting loaded right now about 7,000 pounds. I've never had a situation where it won't get it to speed. Like if I put it in like manual, like it'll just climb. If I keep it in cruise control, it just does it smoothly. Like it doesn't want to like get you there in a hurry. It'll just keep you in that power band. And so I don't know if that's to manage the fuel mileage or if it's to manage, you know, just, you know, maybe the, you know, to keep the temperatures cool or whatnot, but it just has a different way of doing it. And to be honest, for the most part, I don't mind it at all. Every once in a while, I'll notice that it won't downshift and then I'll do it manually and then it's just fine. So something to note, I guess, if you buy one, is something that I'm noticing. So anyways, that is it.